My job is to make the MLI, which stands for multi-layer insulation, for space hardware. And what it does is, basically you want to keep the temperature of the hardware at a constant level. So the multi-layer insulation can either keep it warm or keep it cool. It's a little bit like your body. So on a hot day, you want to get cooled down because your body works better at a certain temperature. On a cold day, you put a coat on to warm yourself up because you want to keep that temperature. So essentially that's what I do. I make the multi-layer insulation that fits over the space hardware. When you look at a satellite, I make the shiny stuff. So basically what we're using it's plastic sheeting covered with a very thin layer of aluminium. It's got holes in it. You see it's got like perforations in it. This is so that when it's launched, it doesn't blow up, that any air could escape through the perforations. And then the CAD designer will design the blanket, which we make, and with these like that. So that will go around a pipe or something. These will all be cameras, or there could be a radiator there, but that's all on the CAD model. And so, yeah, that's what we produce. And it's an inner and an outer material, and then inside you've got layers of thinner material interspersed with netting. I never imagined that I would work in the space sector. I started off life as a radiographer and then had children, and didn't want to go back to that. So like, what can I do? I'm bored, so let's just see what I can make. So immediately before this job, I was a crafter, and then that sort of developed into a business, and then I did that for 10 years. But I had loads of stuff, and I wanted something that would pay me a wage. Well, when I read the MLI technician, RAL Space, I was just sort of intrigued. I think out of curiosity, I applied for it because yes, I do crafts, so I can be curious and apply for it at the same time. So yeah, it was curiosity, I think, more than anything else. Well, at school, I've always liked creating things, but never sort of taken that further than messing about on the kitchen table, really. So I didn't do art. We didn't do woodwork or metalwork or anything. Did a little bit of sewing, but I sort of went into the biology, chemistry, physics area, and hence ended up working in sort of, I suppose, a technical area of healthcare as a radiographer. So I suppose my favourite subjects were the academic side, sort of down the sciences, really. I think one of the reasons I love the job is that there isn't a typical work day. So obviously the main part of the job is making MLI blankets, but there's so much more to it than that. And so I've been there 7 years now, and I'm sort of managing the team. So there's planning to do. Before you actually make the blanket, you've got to get the specification for it, which is basically the document that tells you what materials you're using in that blanket, which is decided by the thermal engineer, depending on what the blanket is needed for. So you've got to get the specification together. You then got to get the drawing together. And then with those two things, you can then start making the blanket. There's various checks all the way through. So it depends at what point in the manufacture of the blanket as to what's going to happen that day. But there's also ordering stock, liaising with different departments. The blankets are then baked out after we've made them. So one thing that I didn't realise about the job was that you will be fitting the blankets to the hardware. Fitting it's not always sat on a table in front of you. Sometimes you have to climb up scaffolding, or you have to climb underneath, crawl underneath. So you can be, 1 minute you can be an acrobat, next minute you can be a commando. So it really is quite physical, and that's one of the good things, because there isn't a typical day. So you don't sort of go to it thinking, today's whatever wash day or whatever. It's really quite varied. The role of the MLI technician is, first of all, you've got to like making things. You've got to like creating things. You've got to have an eye for detail. You've got to be patient. But I think, just a hunger to learn, and a hunger to find out about things. Life throws these opportunities up, and I think you've just got to take them by the horns and, run with them, give them a try. If they don't work out, so what? It might be the best thing you've ever done. And if it's not, try something else. I think the worst thing would be to say, I didn't try. I love what I do because it's creating stuff. First of all, we're sort of working with people in a nice environment. Everybody at RadioSpace is very nice. I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't learn something that makes me feel good when I learn new things. I like talking to people, so that there's the interaction with people. I love the making of the blankets. It could be the same shape, and I wouldn't bother it. I just like making it. I like being busy. I like doing things with my hands. Before I started this job, I didn't have a clue of what I was doing on a computer. Not a clue. But now, I'd say I'm a bit of a whiz with spreadsheets and things like that, so it's really, really opened up so many areas. I feel that although I'm of a certain age, I'm still learning, I'm still developing. That's why I love it, because it's sort of keeps you thinking and learning.